The rain-slicked streets of Manhattan shimmered under the neon glow. But Anthony's heart was a storm of its own, pounding as he sprinted through the crowd. He was late, catastrophically late, for the biggest interview of his life, and the universe seemed hell-bent on making him pay for it. By some cruel twist of fate, he collided with a stranger, their lips crashing together in a fleeting, electric moment that stopped time itself. It wasn't just any stranger. Ethan Caldwell, the enigmatic CEO of Caldwell Enterprises, stood before him, his piercing blue eyes wide with shock. Anthony stammered an apology, his cheeks burning as he stumbled backward, the taste of Ethan's minty breath lingering on his lips. But as he fled toward the towering glass building for his interview, a voice low, commanding, and unmistakably Ethan's, echoed in his mind. Who the hell is this guy? And why can't I stop thinking about him? Anthony froze mid-step, his pulse racing. He glanced back, but Ethan was already disappearing into the crowd, his tailored suit cutting a sharp silhouette against the city's chaos. The voice wasn't coming from outside, it was inside his head, clear as day. Anthony shook it off, chalking it up to nerves, but the voice returned, sharper this time. That kiss, it wasn't just an accident. It felt like fate. He barely made it to the 47th floor of Caldwell Enterprises, his damp sneakers squeaking on the polished marble. The receptionist, a stern woman with a clipboard, eyed him like he was a stray dog. "Anthony Rivera, you're late," she snapped. But Anthony barely heard her. Ethan's thoughts flooded his mind again. If he's here for the analyst position, he's got guts showing up like that. Anthony's stomach twisted. How was he hearing this? And why did it feel like Ethan was still watching him? The interview room was a sleek, modern space with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Hudson River. Anthony sat across from a panel of executives, but his focus shattered when Ethan himself walked in, his presence commanding the room. Their eyes met, and Anthony's breath hitched. Ethan's thoughts surged into his mind. He's even more captivating up close. Focus, Ethan. Don't let this distract you. Anthony's hands trembled as he gripped his resume. This wasn't just nerves. This was something else. Something impossible. "Mr. Rivera," Ethan said, his voice smooth but laced with curiosity. "Tell us why you're the right fit for Caldwell Enterprises." Anthony forced a smile, his mind racing to answer while Ethan's thoughts overlapped. He's nervous. Good. Let's see what he's made of. Anthony stumbled through his qualifications. His marketing degree from NYU, his internships, his passion for data-driven strategy. But every word was drowned out by Ethan's inner voice. He's smart. Too smart. And that spark in his eyes dangerous. By some miracle, Anthony survived the interview, though he was certain he'd blown it. As he left, Ethan's hand brushed his while handing back his portfolio, and a jolt shot through Anthony's body. The voice returned. Louder. I need to see him again. This isn't over. Anthony bolted for the elevator, his heart hammering. Whatever this was, it wasn't normal. He needed answers, but the city swallowed him whole as he stepped back into the rain. That night, Anthony lay awake in his cramped Brooklyn apartment, the kiss replaying in his mind. He wasn't imagining it. Ethan's thoughts were real, invasive, and constant. He's probably forgotten me by now, Anthony thought. But Ethan's voice cut through. I can't forget him. Not after that. Anthony sat up, his chest tight. This was no coincidence. Something had changed when their lips met. something that tethered them in a way he couldn't explain. The next morning, an email from Caldwell Enterprises lit up his phone. He'd gotten a job. Anthony's excitement was overshadowed by dread. Working under Ethan meant facing him daily, hearing his thoughts, feeling that pull between them. He wasn't ready for this, not for the job, not for Ethan, and definitely not for whatever supernatural connection had sparked between them. As Anthony stepped into the office on his first day, Ethan was there, waiting. "Welcome aboard, Anthony," he said, his smile professional, but his thoughts anything but, "He's here. God, he's here." And I'm already losing control. Anthony's knees weakened. This wasn't just a job. It was a collision course with destiny. And he was already in too deep. Anthony's first week at Caldwell Enterprises was a blur of spreadsheets, coffee runs, and Ethan's thoughts invading his mind at the worst possible moments. He'd be analyzing market trends when Ethan's voice would slip in. He's focused. I like that. But why does he keep avoiding my gaze? Anthony would glance up, catch Ethan's piercing stare from across the open plan office, and quickly look away, his face hot. The connection was undeniable, but it terrified him. What was this? Telepathy? A curse? He hadn't signed up for any of it. The office buzzed with rumors about Ethan Caldwell. At 27, he was a prodigy, having taken over his father's company after a mysterious scandal. Employees whispered about his ruthless efficiency, his charm, and his impenetrable private life. Anthony, however, knew more than he wanted. Ethan's thoughts revealed a man torn between duty and desire. I shouldn't be thinking about him. Not like this. He's an employee. Anthony tried to focus on his work, but Ethan's inner turmoil was a constant distraction. One evening, Anthony stayed late, buried in a report. The office was quiet, the city lights twinkling beyond the windows. Ethan appeared at his desk, his tie loosened, a shadow of exhaustion on his face. Burning the midnight oil. "Rivera?" he asked, his tone teasing, but his thoughts heavy. He's still here. Does he know what he's doing to me? Anthony's heart raced. Just trying to keep up. "Sir," he said, his voice steady despite the chaos in his head. "Call me Ethan," the CEO replied, leaning against the desk. Their proximity sent a shiver through Anthony. He smells like cedar and ambition. "Stop it, Ethan." Anthony bit his lip, fighting the urge to respond to thoughts he wasn't supposed to hear. They talked shop, marketing strategies, client pitches, but the air crackled with unspoken tension. When Ethan's hand grazed Anthony's while pointing at a chart, the connection flared, and Ethan's thoughts roared. I want to kiss him again. Right here. Right now. Anthony pulled back, his chair scraping the floor. I need to finish this," he stammered, bolting for the break room. Alone, he splashed cold water on his face, trying to drown out the voice. But it wasn't just Ethan's thoughts. It was the way they mirrored his own growing feelings. He was falling for Ethan, and it was dangerous. He didn't know how to stop hearing him, or if he even wanted to. The next day, a new project landed Anthony in Ethan's inner circle, working directly with the CEO on a high-stakes merger. Meetings were torture. Ethan's professional facade was flawless, but his thoughts betrayed him. He's brilliant. But he's hiding something. I need to know what. Anthony kept his distance, but the pull between them grew stronger. During a late-night strategy session, their hands brushed again, and a vision flashed in Anthony's mind, not a thought, but a memory. Ethan, younger, kissing a boy in a moonlit park, his heart breaking as the boy walked away. Anthony gasped, the vision fading. Ethan frowned, his thoughts sharp. Did he just feel that? Neither spoke of it, but the air shifted. Something deeper was at play, something neither could control. Anthony began researching telepathy, curses, anything that could explain their bond. Late at night, he found an obscure article about soul tethers, rare connections sparked by intense emotional moments, binding two people's minds. The kiss. It had to be the kiss. But there was a catch. Soul tethers could be dangerous. If one person's emotions overwhelmed the other, it could drive them to obsession or worse. Anthony's stomach churned. Ethan's thoughts were already consuming him, and he wasn't sure how much longer he could hide his own feelings. As the merger deadline loomed, so did the risk of their connection spiraling out of control. The merger was a high-wire act, and Anthony was walking it blindfolded. Caldwell Enterprises was acquiring a rival tech firm, and the stakes were astronomical, billions in revenue, thousands of jobs, and Ethan's legacy on the line. Anthony's role was small but critical, analyzing consumer data to predict market impact. He threw himself into the work, hoping it would drown out Ethan's thoughts, but they only grew louder. He's carrying this team. I can't let him burn out or get too close. Ethan was everywhere, leading meetings, reviewing Anthony's reports, his presence a constant reminder of their connection. During a presentation, Anthony caught Ethan staring, his thoughts a mix of admiration and longing. He's more than I expected. I need to protect him. But from what? Myself? Anthony's throat tightened. He wanted to scream that he could hear everything, that he was drowning in Ethan's mind. But he couldn't. Not yet. Outside the office, Anthony's life unraveled. His best friend, Lila, noticed his distraction. You're acting weird. Tony, she said over coffee in Williamsburg. Is it the job or someone? Anthony dodged the question, but Ethan's voice intruded. He's talking about me. I know it. Anthony nearly spilled his latte. The tether was getting stronger, and distance didn't seem to matter. Then came the gala. Caldwell Enterprises hosted a black tie event to woo investors, and Anthony was invited, a rarity for a junior analyst. Dressed in a borrowed tux, he fell out of place among Manhattan's elite. Ethan, in a tailored suit that hugged his frame, was the center of attention, charming and untouchable. But his thoughts told a different story. He's here. God, he looks incredible. I'm in trouble. Anthony's heart pounded as their eyes met across the room. He turned away, but Ethan's voice followed. Don't run from me. Anthony. Not tonight. They collided on the rooftop terrace, away from the crowd. The city skyline glittered below, and the air was thick with tension. You're avoiding me, Ethan said, his voice low. Anthony laughed nervously. Just trying to do my job. Ethan, but the CEO stepped closer. His thoughts raw. I can't keep pretending. I need to know if he feels this too. Anthony's resolve crumbled. I don't know what's happening, he admitted, his voice shaking. Ethan's eyes softened. Then let's figure out together. Their hands brushed, and another vision hit Anthony. Ethan, alone in his penthouse, staring at a photo of the boy from the park, his heart aching. Anthony pulled back, gasping. What was that? Ethan demanded. His thoughts chaotic, he saw it. How? Anthony couldn't lie anymore. I hear you, he whispered. Your thoughts. Since the kiss. I hear everything. Ethan froze, his face a mask of shock and fear. He knows. This changes everything. Before Ethan could respond, a crash echoed from the gala. Shouts followed, and security swarmed the terrace. Someone had leaked sensitive merger details, and fingers were pointing at Anthony. Ethan's thoughts were a storm. He wouldn't betray me. Would he? Anthony's world tilted. He hadn't leaked anything, but the accusation and Ethan's doubt cut deep. As security escorted him out, Ethan's voice lingered. I'll fix this. I won't lose him. Anthony's world was collapsing. Suspended from Caldwell Enterprises pending an investigation, he sat in his apartment, staring at the city that had betrayed him. The leak had tanked the merger, and the press was vicious, painting him as a disgruntled employee out for revenge. Ethan's thoughts were relentless. He's innocent. I know he is. But who set him up? Anthony wanted to believe Ethan's faith in him, but the doubt in those thoughts stung. If he didn't do it, why do I feel so betrayed? Lila dragged him out for air, insisting he clear his head. At a dive bar in the East Village, Anthony confessed everything: the kiss, the thoughts, the visions. Lila, ever the skeptic, raised an eyebrow. So you're telepathically linked to your hot CEO boss? That's wild. But her face softened. Tony, if this is real, you need to talk to him. You're falling apart. Anthony shook his head. He thinks I might have betrayed him. I can't face him. But Ethan wasn't staying away. Late that night, he showed up at Anthony's door, his face drawn. We need to talk, he said. His thoughts a tangle. I shouldn't be here, but I can't stay away. Anthony let him in, his heart pounding. Ethan paced, his voice tight. I know you didn't leak the documents, but someone did, and they're framing you. His thoughts were louder. I'm scared for him. This is bigger than us. Anthony's eyes widened. You believe me? Ethan nodded. Always. They sat on Anthony's worn couch, the space between them electric. Ethan explained the leak's fallout, investors pulling out, the board demanding answers. But Anthony barely heard him. Overwhelmed by Ethan's thoughts, I want to protect him. I want him. Unable to stop himself, Anthony reached for Ethan's hand, and another vision hit Ethan, confronting his father years ago, coming out, only to be disowned. The pain was raw, and Anthony felt it as if it were his own. I saw that, Anthony whispered. Ethan's face paled. Saw what? Anthony took a shaky breath. Your father. The fight. Everything. Ethan pulled back. His thoughts chaotic. He's in my head. This is too much. But instead of running, Ethan leaned closer. Then you know who I am, he said softly. And I'm not letting you go. Their lips met, deliberate this time, and the world fell away. Ethan's thoughts flooded Anthony. This is where I belong. With him, the moment shattered when Anthony's phone buzzed. An anonymous text. You're in over your head. Rivera. Back off. Or you're done. Ethan saw the message. His thoughts turning dark. Someone's targeting him. I'll find them. Anthony's fear spiked, but Ethan's resolve grounded him. We're in this together, Ethan said, his voice fierce. And I'll burn the world down to keep him safe. Anthony and Ethan became a team, bound by their connection and a shared need for answers. Ethan used his resources to dig into the leak, while Anthony scoured his own data, searching for clues. The tether grew stronger. Anthony now felt Ethan's emotions, not just his thoughts. When Ethan was angry, Anthony's chest tightened. When Ethan was hopeful, warmth spread through him. It was intimate, overwhelming, and terrifyingly beautiful. They met in secret, away from the office's prying eyes. A late-night diner in Queens became their sanctuary, where they pored over documents and shared quiet moments. Ethan's thoughts were a constant hum. He's braver than he knows. I'm falling for him. Anthony blushed, catching Ethan's eye. Stop thinking so loud, he teased, and Ethan laughed, the sound easing the tension. But danger loomed. Another text arrived. You can't hide. Rivera. We know what you are. Ethan hired a private investigator, uncovering a trail leading to a board member, Victor Hayes, with a grudge against Ethan. Victor had opposed the merger, and his thoughts, though Anthony couldn't hear them, were written in his actions. Ethan's own thoughts were fierce. Victor's behind this. I'll take him down. But Anthony sensed something darker. The texts weren't just about the leak. They were personal, targeting their bond. One night, as they left the diner, a car sped by, too close, its headlights blinding. Ethan pulled Anthony back, his thoughts frantic. That wasn't an accident. They're watching us. Anthony's fear mirrored Ethan's, but so did his resolve. They couldn't run forever. Together, they devised a plan to expose Victor, using Anthony's access to the company's data and Ethan's influence. The night before the board meeting where they'd confront Victor, they stood on Ethan's penthouse balcony, the city sprawling below. Ethan's hand found Anthony's. His thoughts soft. I've never felt this alive. He's my home. Anthony leaned into him, their foreheads touching. I hear you, he whispered. And I feel the same. Their kiss was slow, deliberate, a promise to face whatever came next together. But as they pulled apart, Anthony saw it, a shadow moving in the alley below. Ethan's thoughts turned sharp. We're not safe. Not yet. The danger was closing in, and their love was both their strength and their vulnerability. The boardroom was a battlefield. Ethan stood at the head of the table, his voice steady as he presented evidence of Victor's sabotage, forged emails, doctored financials, all pointing to the leak. Anthony sat among the analysts, his heart pounding as Victor's face twisted in rage. Ethan's thoughts were a lifeline. Stay strong. Anthony. We've got this. But Victor wasn't going down quietly. This is a witch hunt, he roared, his eyes locking onto Anthony. You're protecting your little pet. Caldwell. Anthony's blood ran cold. Victor knew, somehow, he knew about their bond. Ethan's thoughts flared. He's too confident. He's got something planned. Before Anthony could react, security burst in, holding a flash drive allegedly found in Anthony's desk, planted evidence of the leak. The room erupted, but Ethan's voice cut through. Enough. I trust Anthony. This ends now. In a desperate move, Anthony connected his laptop to the projector, displaying data he'd uncovered, Victor's offshore accounts, linked to a rival firm. The board gasped, and Victor's facade cracked. Ethan's thoughts were triumphant. He did it. My brilliant Anthony. But as security escorted Victor out, he hissed at Anthony. You'll regret this. A final text buzzed on Anthony's phone. This isn't over. That night, Ethan and Anthony stood on the rooftop where it all began, the city alive below them. The tether was quieter now, their emotions aligned. Ethan's thoughts were soft. He's my future. I'll fight for him. Anthony smiled, taking Ethan's hand. I hear you, he said, and I'm not going anywhere. Their kiss was a vow, sealing their bond against the world. The danger wasn't gone. Victor's allies were still out there, and the tether's mysteries lingered. But Anthony and Ethan had each other, and that was enough. They'd faced betrayal, fear, and a connection neither could explain, but had forged something unbreakable. Love wasn't just their refuge, it was their rebellion, a defiance of a world that tried to tear them apart. And as the city hummed below, they knew they'd face whatever came next together.